Hey everyone, so today I wanted to talk about how to negotiate a higher wage or salary. So when you are in a market where it is going to be difficult for you to get an increase in your job because let's say you've been there a long time and they already know how much you're getting paid, they're not going to look to pay you 5 times more, 2 times more, or anything like that, even though the industry may require that be offered, right? If you're getting $11 an hour and the next person comes in making 15, unless you know that, you're probably going to look for a raise that pays about $50, 50 cents more, or even $1 more, and see that as a significant increase. However, with inflation and the economy being what it is, $1 increase is typically not going to be enough to sustain the current rates of inflation that are hitting our economy. And so after you've been at a job for more than 2 years, you will see that you're significantly making less than what most people are making in your standard industry. With that being said, here are some tips and tricks that you can use in order to identify ways to improve your results when looking for a new job or for looking for increase in your salary or raise. First thing that you can utilize is looking for those who meet your standard requirements in order to just have a decent life. What that means is not lowballing yourself in any job interview and making a clear starting point on what a minimum salary or hourly wage is for you, okay? The next thing that I would look to do is to then, in each interview, once you found a job that you like, is to increase that starting point. Once you've identified 2 jobs that you're willing to work, you now have the option of negotiating a higher wage, whether it be 50 cents more, $1 more, or even $2 more in order to get you in the door. What has happened now is that these companies are now going to either max you out in terms of how much they are able to offer you, or they are going to say, this is the hard line that they're drawing. If you're here for money and only money, then we have nothing more to offer you for this position. And a lot of the times you'll see is companies will make an effort in order to increase how much they are offering you. And you get to see firsthand what their max is and how to get there. And so I've always felt as though I've not been slighted in any job opportunity because I always have companies competing to get my expertise in the management industry. And because of that, I know that I'm maximizing my earnings potential by not just settling for what is out there, but instead reaping the rewards of my experience over a long time frame. What that has done now is when I'm looking for a job, I can say, hey, I require X amount of dollars per hour, or I require this for a salary position. And then from there, once I've identified a job that I like, if another job offers me similar or a little bit more, then I will come back and counter offer that job as well. So I am never unhappy with the pay that I'm receiving. And then it's now my turn to reflect what I have said I'm capable of doing in my work, right? Because a lot of the people, when they get a job and when they say, yes, I can work this many hours, I can do this and this, I can travel here and there. But the thing that they neglect is their willingness to do those things once they've received the job, the waking up early, the coming home late, the driving here and there and spending a lot of money on gas, right? And sometimes, depending on your company, that may not be covered. And of course, they're expecting you to do the job and perform the job because they are paying you what you've asked and what you've settled on. And therefore, it's really, really imperative that once you've committed to something, that you're paid handsomely for it or beautifully for it, and that you're okay with the lifestyle that you may live due to the choices that you've made. And with that being said, another way to increase what you are earning without necessarily getting a competing offer is by putting yourself in a financial position to where you are not concerned with the loss of a job. For example, if you have money saved for an emergency, if you have money in your savings account, if you have money for a rainy day, if you have up to 6 months of expenses ready to go, you can now negotiate with a clear mind and a clear head and a clear heart without the risk of or the stress of maybe losing your job because you are asking for too much more than what they can afford, or with the stress of having to look for a job right away because you cannot pay your bills, right? We should never be at a point where it is impossible for us to move, and therefore we need to set a hard bar or a hard line at the job that we're at, right? Because if we don't have disposable income, then we don't have money to save, we don't have money to invest, we don't have money to grow. And that is the most important thing, is to have money to save so that we can invest and grow, right? So we don't already want to be in a position of where we're stressed and then we're looking for work in which, we're already at a disadvantage. We're already talking from a point of disparity rather than a point of, being able to negotiate a better life and living situation for ourselves. And so when people come and offer you an opportunity, you want to exhaust all options. You want to continue to look at each and every individual option and see what is best for me, what is going to put me in the space that I need to be in order to best succeed. What is going to give me the most long-term success, whether that be on my resume, my title, my value, my reputation. What is going to help me to improve on my current situation? How much do I need to make in order to drastically see an increase in my life? Do I deserve that for the current field that I'm in the position and the things that I do? If the answers are yes to those things, then go ahead and go and get it. Another thing that I'm looking at is, what are people making in my field? How can I maximize what people are making in my field for myself? How can I maximize my earning potentials and then go a little above that? So if in your field you make $50,000 a year, how can I make $55,000 a year? If in your field you make $70,000 a year, how can I make $80,000 a year? Just those slight increases will set you apart in terms of what others are making in your industry. And it will also raise the bar on what you can expect to earn at other employers, and maybe even put you in a different category to where you're now offered higher positions because they simply can't pay you anymore for the current role that you're in. Now, if you're not someone who is looking to move up, but you're looking for something that's consistent and giving you decent benefits and pay, then you may want to look at, how much can I make in my current field, and how can I live a life that will sustain me within the current pay structure that I'm in, and will also allow me to invest and save a little more than $100 every single month. Because if we're investing less than $100 and saving less than $100 every month, we're not going to get anywhere fast, and that's not what I want for anyone. And so we need to be able to live a lifestyle that allows us to be comfortable, even if we do not look to move up in the positions that we're currently in, right? So if you're in a service sector where you're like a service representative, we understand that we're not going to get big bucks to do that. We're not going to get big bucks for entry-level positions. However, we still need to ensure that we're living a life that allows us to live comfortably and effectively implement whatever we need to implement in order to, best help our future selves. So again, to recap, certain things that you can do is save a lot of money in order to not be stressed out when coming to your employer. We want to look for things like bonuses, travel relocation packages, salary increases, rate increases, wage increases, yearly increases, just if it's inflation, just if you're doing an inflation increase of 3 to 4%, right? We want to look for things like that in order to boost our stock. We don't want to be in a company where after a year, they make you wait another 6 months to a year to get another increase. You cannot work at a company for more than 2 years without an increase in your salary or hourly rate, especially if you're just starting out and the industry does have a buffer in which you can earn more, right? So we want to look at all of those opportunities and make sure that we are maximizing what we're capable of doing, and make sure that you're an asset to your company. You don't want your boss or employer to be looking at you and saying, wow, this person makes this much money, right? Because if they're shocked that you're making that much money, that means you probably don't deserve the money that you're making, and you're probably not working hard enough to show that you are deserving of that type of money. And therefore, you need to also improve yourself in order to improve your income, right? Because there's a lot of people that can talk a good game, but then when it comes to backing it up, they're not there to back it up. So we want to also be able to back it up, but also talk a good game as well, and show that we are well-rounded individuals who are capable of handling high-pressure situations and the tasks that are at hand, right? So again, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.